What's up? What's up, everybody? It's Jasonlee Tucker, and welcome to the Coffee Break with Jasonlee and Mike. Let me bring Mike here in a minute. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday night. All right, let me bring Mike. Mike, what's up?
Yo, what's going on?
What do you think about the new intro, man? Did you like it?
I like it. It's pretty rad.
I almost played this. I almost played the old one. I was like, by mistake. I was like, oh crap! But yeah, that's our new intro, guys. I got the rooster out there at the beginning, drinking a cup of coffee. You know that rooster because, like, my rooster. I go walk out right now, my rooster be crowing, man. He's always drinking coffee, man. He's
never. There's never a down moment. Once they start to go down, it's just more caffeine.
It's never a down moment. I'll tell you, them roosters are crazy, man. They're as soon as I get home, 11, man, they're crowing. 2 or 3 in the morning, they're crowing. never a down moment for a rooster. Guys, I hope everybody is having a great Wednesday. We took a week off last week, but we're back here this week. We got a big week coming here in the town we live in. All kind of stuff's going on. I mean, we know we're going to talk about world events, but right where we live in, man, we got a big festival coming up, 4-day festival that's going to bring, it's like a Woodstock-sized festival. It's going to be a ton of people in the town for 4 days from Thursday all the way till Monday morning. Port St. Lucie's got their fair going on. It's a big fair festival going over there. We're fixing next week to have our Speckled Perch Festival and our local Okeechobee Fair. So town's for next 2-3 weeks is just going to be hopping. They'll be on caffeine like crazy. So
yeah.
So we'll talk about a little bit of that later. Well, Mike, how are we doing? How you doing this? How have you been doing this week?
Pretty good. Took some downtime myself. Got a little bit caught up and working on some pretty big social media projects right now and videos. So that's just constant, so I just, if my love for coffee is really just driven by social media. So constantly filming, constantly. So,
and that's the website. Let me there's his website, guys. So definitely check it out. Coastal Cafe. That's his main page right there. Yeah. You can check all the coffees. I know if you watched our first stream, we went through it and the different flavors and stuff. So guys, and you got some new things you said you're working on too, right? Some new flavors. Yeah,
I'm kind of brainstorming right now. What's going to be the next thing? Probably may not come out with another flavor. Maybe like a new coffee from a different origin or region.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, main thing right now is pushing through. Is that anyone in the coffee industry right now? Like January through like middle of March is pretty hard time because it's a weird. There's like nothing really going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because you got spring coming up, and it's for coffee people, it's like they're pulling stuff out of a hat. They're pulling for holidays. Like the only holiday that we had really was like Valentine's, but it's a far reach over.
We got St. Patty's. Yeah, well, you can see it. My St. Patty's Day shirt because it's green. I guess because the green screen takes it out. But got that coming up. So get some Irish coffee.
Yeah, I may do something for that, but we'll see. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Now, we got this coming out too. I'm sure. I think Mike's a big comic book fan. We got this coming out this weekend too.
Oh heck yeah!
Batman. We got my Batman cup out.
Yeah, big Batman fan. I love Batman, Spider-Man.
I had to bring it out just for tonight, man, because I know somebody would be talking about because we were. I've seen some previews early today. Kavari, what's up, Kavari? I see Kavari's in here. He's a big Batman fan. He said the Batman reviews are looking good. I know. I saw some of them earlier today. Definitely. I mean, I know we got some haters out there, but it looks good. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big comic book fan. Love the movies and stuff. So I like Marvel and DC. So I'm not one or the other. I love them both. So yeah. People are saying the Batman looks. Sets the bar for new comic book movie. That's what I heard earlier today. And hey, it's a 3 hour. And Mike, it's 3 hours. This movie's gonna be 3 hours long, so it's gonna be like the long. It's gonna be like the longest This
Who's-
will be the longest Batman that
Who plays? I haven't really looked at who plays Batman.
it's keeping it the guy from Twilight. Patterson.
Oh, Patterson.
I know a lot. Yeah, the guy from Twilight.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I know a lot of people were like saying at first I was like, I don't know if that could be, but from the previews, he looks good. I mean, it looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Huh.
I'm definitely giving it a chance.
I've seen some clips from it, so I'm like, it's definitely a C for me because you would rarely like. I used to go to the movies a lot, back in my 20s. But man, to get me to go to the movies just got to be something like Star Wars, Batman. It's got to be Marvel. It's got to be a Marvel. It's got to be one of those.
Batman, yeah. I definitely I want to see this one. I mean, I got to find a way to find time. Maybe if I don't this weekend, maybe next weekend. I mean, that's the only thing. That's the only thing sucks about us not having a theater in town anymore because it wasn't that bad. We could go anytime during the day, or and it was only $2 or $3. Now you gotta go to the coast. Yeah. I mean, even if the quality wasn't as good as like the coast theaters, but sometimes I would have seen a lot more movies this year if we still had it. Like there are some movies I wanted to see, but I didn't want to go to the coast. I wasn't sure about. So like
that's another reason why I don't like if it's a movie. I'm kind of like I'm like I'll just go see it at our theater.
Streaming. What? Yeah. HBO Max, man. It's like Matrix 4. I'm glad it was HBO Max because I would have been really upset if I saw that in the theater. But I did see it. I was wanting to see it, and I was disappointed. But at least HBO Max saved me a trip to the coast and $15 and the $10 popcorn and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Robert Patterson. Yeah, but
Patterson. Okay. Yeah. If anyone in the panel name some of the actors in it because Patterson. He's a great actor. I mean,
what's his name? Not Will Ferrell. What's his name? Plays the Penguin. Colin Farrell. He plays the Penguin in it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Kavari probably knows who plays the Riddler. The Riddler looks like a creepy. I mean, it ain't like the Riddler we know with the Jim Carrey Riddler. This guy looks like somebody from Saw or something. He looks. Yeah. It's gonna be a real dark, like a real dark story.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's always like ever since Heath Ledger did the Joker, now it's such a tall standard now. Like, because in any new Batman that comes out, it's like, okay, who's playing that role? Because it's like now you have some some tough shoes to fill, So
well, even back with Michael Keaton, man, I remember seeing when I was trying to think. That came out in '89, I believe. I was a little kid. Well, I wasn't a little kid, but I was a kid back then. I remember going to me and Dad went to the theater to see that one, and I was so excited. Tim Burton's version of Batman, and then he did the second one. And then they started changing Batman's after we got Val Kilmer was. Then he got George Clooney, then it went and then we got the Dark Knight trilogy. Then we had what's his name played in the not Spider-Man, the Batman versus Superman. So yeah, it's definitely there he is. I know I've already have it for me. Paul De Niro. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at him. I don't know what else. And Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon. I mean, it looks fire. I mean, it looks like a different take. I mean, you got Catwoman in it, and there's rumored that they're going to have a new Joker in at the end. So that was rumored. So unless they cut it, I mean, it's probably going to have more than it'll probably have some more than that with 3 hours. So, and I'm hoping. I was talking to somebody else. And I'm hoping they'll bring some of these characters we haven't seen, like Killer Croc, and I'd love to have Clayface in a future film and stuff. Maybe they'll set up some of these characters that we haven't seen.
I'm trying to think. The last movie I saw that was actually 3 hours long.
Probably Infinity War.
Yeah. Or wasn't no, not Lord of the Rings. Maybe it was. Lord of the Rings is pretty long. Which one?
They were long. They were all like almost 3 hours.
When you break 2 hours, man, you got Yeah.
Titanic, Avatar. I think they're close or right at it. I think Endgame is close to 3 hours. I don't think it's a little under, but it's close. But
Right.
3 hours, that's a long film. So I'm hoping. Yeah, the cast is huge. He says Andy's is Alfred. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Really? That's cool.
Yeah, it's got a big cast. So I mean, like I said, I love that scene where that first trailer where he's in there fighting them guys into the subway, and then the car with the penguin chase where they jump through the fire. It looks, like I said, I hope it ain't one of those films like we see everything good in the trailer. And I remember Mortal Kombat that way. When I saw we was talking about that one time.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat was I was like, damn, this is gonna be fire. And we watched the movie and it was like, God, that was the whole everything good was in the trailer.
Yeah. So. It's so crazy. Like, you could do anything to a movie. You can take an action movie. You can take an action movie and turn it into a drama if you're good with multimedia.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it was disappointing. I remember seeing Mortal Kombat. And I was like, what the?
Yeah, it wasn't like that.
High hopes.
It wasn't like that. It was the old Mortal Kombat we saw back in the 90s was way better. I thought. I mean, it was upgraded. I mean, for all the technology it had, the story just wasn't there. Yeah, he said the Snyder Cut. Have you seen that? The Snyder Cut? It's on HBO Max. No, it's the Justice League. The extended. It was with the extended Justice League. The one that came out. God, like 5 or 6 years ago? About 5 years ago. Yeah. They bombed so bad, and then what happened? They fired Snyder. It was his project, and then they got Josh Whedon, the guy that did Avengers, to do it, and he changed it around. But it was one of those movies that he only had like 6 months to make a whole movie change around, and so it was just it was just a cluster. I ain't gonna say the word, but it was just a massive cluster. So I mean, it was bad, and then Snyder sort of brought back. I mean, it was way better, but the only bad thing I hate about it is that universe is, unless something happens, it's dead. Ain't nothing else can happen. And at the end of it, you were just getting into where Superman just came back, and you got Darkseid just coming, fixing to invade, and we won't get to see that unless who knows, because they got this Warner Brothers Discovery merger fixing to happen. So when heads start rolling, they say, well, you know what? There's a lot of people want to see this. Maybe we'll bring it back. We'll bring the guy back, but that's another story. That's another story for another day. Well, let's get back. I mean, I just brought the Batman thing. I know Kavari was wanting to talk about it, but we talk a little bit about comics and stuff, but we're gonna try to talk about some things going on in the world, and back to our basic subjects, about coffee and different things, more relaxed, or because we get into a comic rap, man. It could be 3 or 4 hours chat. I remember one of our last ones. God, it was supposed to be an hour show, and it ended up being a 4-hour show because we got somebody. One of the guys that brought in there, a cool guy, man. But we got into like the deep encyclopedia of like DC heroes and villains, and it turned into a 4-hour show.
Yeah, especially
Sherry, hello, Sherry, how are we doing? I think I said hello to her, but yeah, it's really cool. All right, so things going on in the world. So like I said, we got a lot of things going on locally that's affecting us. I mean, it does, it does affect it. It does affect the prices and things, because I mean, pretty much our stores are going to be wiped. All our stores are going to be wiped out pretty much for this, at least this week here. Because how many people is going to be at this one? You think? What is
for what?
The festival?
The music fest?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't quote me, but I think it's been I think that attendance has been lower last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really sure,
40, 50,000 plus. I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
maybe
the first one was insane. It was like insane.
There, maybe. Yeah, I think it's like 50 to 60,000 people. But for a community our size, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, you got a lot of people flying from the entire U.S. Different states coming in and traveling
Yeah.
and stuff. So, I mean, I've already been seeing different license plates. So I'll be driving, I'll be like looking at someone's license plate. I'm like, Connecticut. Like, what's in? Like,
yeah, a lot of cars. Yeah.
Like, what's in Connecticut? Nebraska.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all driving in. I think coming, probably starting now.
Yeah, let me bring it up. Since we're talking about, let me bring this up here. Let me see.
Yeah, but I like I said, I went the first year and it was mad. It was mad insane.
Right.
Like I went to go see Mumford and Sons. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Let's see.
I can't remember which year it was. Was it maybe last year or year before that one? We had a lot of pop stars, hip hop pop stars.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to think some of the names. Who was there?
Let me see.
So
Well, I brought it up. I don't want to put my address in. Let me see. Oh.
I can see.
Yeah, I was gonna say let me find a different link. Oh, there it is. All right, there we go. There we go. I got it. I believe I got it. It popped up. There you go. All right, all right, guys. I don't know if anybody lives in Florida, they might have heard about this. This is our 5th one. Well, we had one in I think 2 years now because of the the pandemic. But anybody in the chat have heard of any of these bands? Go ahead and let me know, because I really have never heard of nobody this year. I was trying to figure out. I may do a stream later this week and just pop up some of the music and see. Well, actually, I've heard Pepper. I've heard of Pepper. I'm gonna sing that one there. The Thursday night, Rez. Have you ever heard of Rez? That's supposedly the main guy, a main person at the. I've never heard of them. Like in the past, we've had Mumford and Sons. We had Hazley. We had who do we have? We've had a couple rap artists that's got famous lately. Killing Jamar, I think it was called. Snoop was there a couple years ago. He was like the. We had Bass Neck. I've heard of them. They're Skrillex. I've heard of him.
Skrillex is good. I love Skrillex.
Yeah, see, I've heard of them. Well, the Flying Lotus, I've heard of them. They're another. I think they're another one of those. Same like Skrillex. Now they're on Sunday night. But let me see in the chat. Whatever family.
There's
checking some geeky content.
So many here that I haven't actually.
Okay. I got somebody. C-List is saying that Potter Robert is dude is dope. Okay. Okay, I'll have to check him out. I don't know what type of all right, C-List. I see C-List in there. Let me go to him real quick. All right, let me see. All right, let me get back to the screen. Yeah, okay.
Megan Thee Stallion. Like,
all right, there you go.
I've heard of Troy Boy.
I'll have to check this guy. Is he? Wait, what kind of music is he? Is it electronic or is it rap, R&B? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look him up. He does EDM. It's got to be probably electronic. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check him out then. But he's the head. He's going to be the closer. He's going to be the closer for the festival. So he must be pretty big. I guess I'm getting old. I'm getting old is what it is, man. So I'm not a big
like. I am so like I did it like the year where we had the year was it Snoop played or Snoop was there, and all the other famous hip hop stars. I unfortunately did not go, but I really did want to go because all the others there was So I sort of have a weird genre music, but like the
electronic dance music. Yeah, so he's like Skrillex. Anybody surprised though? There was some bands on there them first couple years that I never heard of, and actually after listening, they actually like Foster the People. You know, I actually liked them after they came out, because they were on this I think the first or second year before they got really famous. There was a couple others that it was like, wow, they came out. What's his name? Little Dicky. You remember Little Dicky? You ever listen to him?
Yeah.
He was there. He actually was at this. This was how one of his, before he got famous. He was at I think it was the first or second one of these. Yeah, and I was like, I sort of looked him up, and I was like, oh fuck! I was like, hey, he was here. Oh, I'm sorry, he was there in Okeechobee. I was like, he's funny. He's like a funny white guy rap artist. If nobody's ever heard of him. Let me see what we got here.
Like on the main days, I've heard of the bands. You know, the lead bands on the main days, but the other ones I haven't heard of. So that's
okay.
I think every festival they have like a genre that's like, obviously the first one was more like Woodstock, you know, so you had like some bands like that.
Yeah.
And then the year obviously with Snoop Dogg was pretty much mostly R&B and hip hop, you know, or pop. So I don't know. So this is probably mostly, maybe somebody can in the comments can say like, well, what are mostly the genres here?
Well, he said, okay, got C-List saying it's electronic dance music. That's what Potter. He said both of you look younger than me. I'm 44. Potter's headline EDC and Ultra Fest. I know is that's at the Miami festival. So a lot of this is probably electronic, like he was saying, electronic dance music.
Like
I know
or something.
Yeah, a lot of that. I noticed we get a lot of.
I'll go to a dubstep concert. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's what it is. Probably a lot of dub stuff, electronic dance, because a lot of Europeans come to us. When I was working in Fort Pierce, they would be stopping over at the store before they come here, and there was a lot of people from Sweden and Norway and different Denmark, Germany. They were going to this festival because I guess some of these must be really popular over there overseas too. So
yeah. This concert's known pretty much worldwide. I mean, there's people flying in to Florida. I mean, it's pretty wild. So
yeah. C-List, I'm with you. I'm 44 also. Mike, you're a little younger than me, right? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I guess I'm still young, 36. So
yeah, you got. I got a few years on you, but
yeah, I feel old and decrepit on the inside, dead inside, dead inside.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, who's their own? I mean, I like a certain type of music. I'm gonna have to look up some of these artists and listen to their music and be surprised. I might like some of them. I know, I never heard of them, but you never know. That's how you learn new artists and learn new things. So I definitely have to check out. He said this one guy's really good. This Porter Robinson's good. So I'm gonna have to look him up, see what he sounds like. And I'll probably hear him in probably Sunday night, from my house here. Because if I could grab a ticket or something, I would go see Porter Robinson. To be honest, that's the only one I really know from the list. Okay,
but everyone else, I've heard Megan Thee Stallion.
Somebody mentioned that. I haven't heard. I'd have to look them up. I'm surprised. I mean, these guys. They get come here, and then next year you see them all playing at the Super Bowl. You never know. I mean, that's where they start. A lot of these, like I said, some of them newer artists today. I came to these festivals in the last 5 or 6 years ago, and they're big headliners too. So
yeah.
Yeah, I would have liked to at least seen a couple more bigger names in there. But we do have George Clinton in the Parliament Funkadelic. I know about him. He's going to be the surprise. They got a powwow on Sunday or something. So he's the head. That's where Snoop Dogg did a couple years ago. He was like the surprise guest.
Yeah. So I think Porter Robertson. He was on, what show was he on recently? He had a show in now I'm thinking what's coming up. Yeah, I can't remember what show he was on, but his list of events He's going to be in see in April. He's going to be in Denmark, and then he's going to be in Belgium. So he's pretty hot.
European.
I've seen some of his videos. So
he's the European crowd. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Like the same with like the first one when we had Mumford and Sons. You know, you got a lot of you reach quite a weirder audience with that kind of music. So you're gonna have a lot of people flying from different parts of the country. So to come see Robertson for sure.
Let's see. One second here.
It's killing me. Like trying to think. He was on maybe some sort of podcast show. It's killing me now. I can't think of. But he's pretty rad. I like his music. He's pretty much the only one I see on this list that I'm more familiar with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, C-List says he saw Clinton spin in San Francisco once. Such as an awesome person, though his crowd and George Clinton. Yeah. I think he was with Snoop Dogg. He came with Snoop Dogg. So this is his second time here. Him and Snoop Dogg. They did a little. I know Snoop Dogg got up there and told everybody to smoke it out, man. I remember somebody did a clip on that. I have to find that clip, but yeah, guys, you know, if you're in the Okeechobee area or Florida area, this is going on right now. Actually, starting tomorrow, and I think they still have tickets. So they're high now. They have camping and all that. So I don't know if the camping might be sold out and all that, but bring your camper, or they got tents, different things. I mean, like I said, I seen numbers between from $200 to $300. I don't know, maybe more. I don't know, but you know. So I mean, if you see any these artists, you like them, and you want it's 4 days of fun, man. And I said they got all kind of stuff. They got yoga and all kind. They got a cool little beach thing there, but a Ferris wheel, and they do like I know some of these artists are going to be like they have like a beach run. So some of these are probably going to be a tropical, maybe tropical type music, and then they got one that's for like sort of like music I'm hearing right now. It's sort of relaxing when you like want to drink your tea or your coffee. It's sort of like what they call it like yoga type music. They have a stage for just ourselves. Some of these artists maybe, you know, some of that too. So this is the whole list of everybody. And some of these artists we probably have never heard of is they got DJs and stuff, because they have a big it's called jungle it's a jungle setup, like dance thing out there like in the woods, but they got these lights and stuff. I think it's Jungle 41 or something like that. But that's probably that they're going to be spinning from start tomorrow all the way to Monday morning, so nonstop, you know, dance music and you know.
Oh yeah.
So
you can find one area and just rave all day, and then
yes, exactly.
Hike to the next station, and you can like just sit with a bunch of hippies and just
yeah, exactly.
Like, it's pretty wild. So
exactly.
Maine.
And he says Megan does that song, the WAP, the wet ass, you know what? So I'm not gonna say the word right now, but that's so he's so she was one in that video.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was kind of like, I'm like, who is this person? I'm like, there's a song.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a lot. That's like I said, a lot of it's a little mixture. I say it's a lot. It looks like a lot of electronic dance. There's some hip hop in there. Softer rock. They ain't really no hard rock. If you're looking for hard rock, this ain't the concert for you. I would say go to Rockville up in Daytona. It's going to be next month. There you're going to have Guns N' Roses, Kiss, Metallica, different things like that. I mean, this is going to be more, like I said, it's going to be more laid-back rock, hippie, or earth tone music, what they call it. And that's what you're looking for. It's just, you know, it's like a art, and they got arts, crafts, they got all kind of cool stuff, yoga, different things. So guys, if you're in the area, I mean, this is like 3 miles from my house, but fortunately I'm not going to get to it. I got to work and different things, but If I was younger, maybe, but not. I'm like I said, I already married and got kids, so I guess it's not for me. But if you're a single man and you want to go meet a lot of women, this is the place to go. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I remember last time was me and a guy was working for Frito. We was driving by loading chips, and it was just pickup trucks and just girls with bikinis all over the place. I'm like, holy moly! I said, we're the Frito guys. Hey, what's up? So,
yeah.
But like I said, we're not. I'm out of that stage now. So, but yeah, that's a cool thing. But as I say, a lot of people in this town doesn't care for it because it's going to make the town crowded. And I tell you, when that bass starts, man, you can talk about hearing dogs holler because I live out here. It's out in the middle of nowhere, and it's where this concert at. And those dogs started that one year when Skrillex and them were playing. My glass was vibrating. The dogs were howling outside and all that. All the whole neighborhood or the woods and all that. So it'd be an interesting 4 days for the animals around here because they.
Yeah, I know the festival. Like, I mean, if you're from Okeechobee, you've seen the weirdest of weird, so nothing surprises you anymore until we've started having the music fest, and then I saw some different. Like I saw some weird. I'm kind of like, I mean, the first couple of years, like there's an issue with like a good third of the women couldn't even enter into retail places because half of them were naked. So
I remember when I was going there, and they were like, it's about about to fall, everything's about to fall off, and I was like, holy God.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, imagine in that little dancing place, the jungle place. Imagine if they don't check all those trees because it's in a freaking forest, and they got these like it's supposed to be like an alien landing, and so they have lights. It sort of looks like an alien crash there. And they got these lights and they're boom. Can you imagine it up in their tree? There's like 4 or 5 of them raccoon stuff, and they start shooting them lasers everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh man, Jedi, what's up, brother? What's up, man? Basco, I see Basco popped in there also. What's up, Basco? What's up, Basco? What's up, brother? Oh, Celia says what? No Slipknot. No, they ain't no Slipknot in this one, man. Nah.
Yeah.
No, they're not. There's no walls of death or pits or anything. I don't think so. No, they're peace and love and harmony, man. So they
eventually they're gonna have like, I don't know, maybe they already have. I don't think so, but have a day where it's just all really hardcore heavy metal music.
Well, they should. Yeah. That's what I was telling you. This place is perfect for a concert. They need to have a Rockville. They need to have that here, or a country concert, a festival, or something. I mean, it's a perfect place. I mean, it's a perfect setup. Mentioned Slipknot. My friend, he saw Slipknot up there in Rockville, up there in Daytona, like November. So it was pretty cool. I saw them a long time ago. I saw them 20 years ago when it first came out. But it's definitely not the same type of music. All right,
all these genres on here is just not like. That's why I decided like other than Porter, that's the only one. So if I can snag a ticket for that day, then I'm going to go. So.
All right, well let's see. We got some other things we can talk about. So like I said, our show's about we talked a little bit Batman earlier. We talk about what's going on in the news. We're here at the cafe, the coffee cafe. Like everybody, we're drinking our coffee, and we're we got the news. We don't have the newspaper, but we got the internet. We got the streaming from. This is our newspaper. This is our new newspaper. Like the old days, there wasn't no video screens. They used to just grab the old paper up, fluff it up, see what's going on. There might be a TV up in the corner, broadcasting a little bit of news, but you got your news from the newspapers and all that. So let's see. There's a couple things that I know is going on, especially last night. If anybody caught it, let me share this thing. If anybody caught this tragedy, then I got a little bit of it. Let's see. I know, guys, we're going a little bit of politics, so I know if you don't like politics, probably just some earmuffs right now. So it will go. Okay, did it pop up? And there it is. There it is. If anybody saw this, did you see this, Mike, last night?
Yeah, the union address.
Yeah, the Joe Biden's.
Oh yeah, I watched it. I watched it.
And guys, you know, I know I have a lot of friends that's on both sides of the party. There are some, you know, conservatives, and I got some, you know, Democratic liberal friends. And I'm not going to try to go either way. But guys, this is from the newspaper, and this is a liberal newspaper. USA Today is pretty liberal newspaper, and Joe Biden weak, forgettable State of the Union won't help his. Like I said, this comes from the USA Today, which is, like I said, is a pretty liberal paper, and there was some parts on there. When he first came in, I thought didn't even know where he was going. I thought he was lost because he thought he was going to sit down out there in the crowd there for a minute. So it was kind of very interesting.
Yeah,
but let me see if I got it. It says, you know, I'm not even going to go into about because there's this mostly about midterms and all that. But you know, really, I'm not, like I said, I'm not even going to go into that if it hurt him on midterms. And all. I'm just going to weigh the presentation. You know, I don't care. You know, past presidents. It was a pretty lousy speech. That's the only thing I say. And like I said, you're like a lost man that didn't know and does not know where he is or what's going on. I mean, that's the problem about it. Even, you know, some policies I agree or disagree. I mean, especially when he started doing the defunding or unfunding the police thing, he did not make sense at all what he was saying. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
that was probably the big, like, other than, you know, the obvious gaffes. I mean, personally, it's not the worst job he's ever done in a public speech. So I kind of felt the motivation and everything. I agreed with a lot of things he said about the war in Ukraine. But the biggest heated thing is the exact opposite statement he made about funding the police. So everyone on the left is like losing their minds right now. They're just like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, I mean, we should be funding the police, but the way he worded it, it was like, okay, we're going to defund the police, but we're going to fund the police. And it was like,
yeah, I can't remember exactly.
Oxymoron to what you say. I mean, it didn't make no sense of what he was saying. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm for defunding the police, but I'm for funding the police." I was like, you just basically said two different phrases. I mean, I'm like scratching my head when he said that, and then I know that you know, I have, you know, there's people on both sides of that thing, but it didn't make no sense of what he said. And then there was other things he said in the part. Another thing about the oil and gas, basically, I heard this on another thing that they're going to release so many gallons of reserve oil. And I heard this was from economics. He says, "Do you realize that's only like a day and a half worth of U.S. gas that's used in the U.S.?" So basically, we're going to release back into extra gas. So gas right now is I don't know where everybody's living at, but gas is like almost $3.60 here in Florida. And I know poor California, I know people live in California are paying like $6, $6.50 I've heard, or more. And I'm not sure wherever else. I mean, it might be a few cheaper, it says. It might be, like I said, it might be a few other cheaper places, you know, here and there, but I don't think that's going to lower the $3.60. We might get the $3.59 for one day, and guess what? It's going to go back up again. Well, especially with what's going on in Ukraine. There's a lot of gas. So I found out there's a lot of gas we get from that region in Russia and the Middle East. So guess what? Now that whole area is clogged, and then especially now rumors of the big one. Let's see if I can use this word without getting struck down. Made in the Red Dragon Kingdom, I'm going to call it. You know what I'm talking about. They wants to possibly going to invade Taiwan, possibly in the next few days. I read the article on that. And you think prices are going up? When that happens, the prices will skyrocket. So I don't. I think we might be a little trouble there, and then listening to this guy last night, I'm like, holy crap! I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. This guy is not the person you need in there if we have a two-front war possibly in the near future.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, like the inflation's like if you know real economics is just going to get worse due to sanctioning and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So like. Eastern Europe area, we do a lot of our energy does come from there, but not as far as gas is concerned. I think most of our fuel economy comes from Canada, if I'm not mistaken.
Get some in the Middle East.
Yeah. So when he talks about like these reserves and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, it's it's enough to last for not even a
exactly
few weeks. So yeah, I just wish like the motivation of the speech would actually line up with real facts, so
exactly.
And you look at what's the governor of Texas. If you want to know everything about that speech, everyone's standing and clapping, and they turn to the governor of Texas. What's his name? Jesus. I'm independent, so I don't really like.
I can't think of his name.
I'm just I know his name like so well, but I don't know why.
It's Abbott, and I think it's Abbott, is it?
No.
No. God, I'd have to. God, I haven't kept up with I haven't kept up.
Why I'm drawing a blank.
I know who he is. I just can't think of his name at the moment. I'm prepared on it.
No, not Abbott. I'm sorry, Ted Cruz. I'm sorry, I was drawing.
Cruz. The senator. The senator.
Yeah. Like it showed Nancy Pelosi like behind Joe Biden. It's like yes,
dude.
and then it like pans to like Ted Cruz, and he's
dude.
He's just like. And so I died laughing at that part because I'm like, you can't. That just tells everything about.
Well, Comedy Central could have a heyday on this speech if you actually look at some of the faces. Did you see Schumer? It was like he got up and started clapping for him ended the thing. So it's like, oh, is that scripted or not, Mr. Schumer? Okay. So and then and Pelosi and Kamala was up there with the faces they were given. It was like, oh
yeah,
my God.
yeah. Apparently, the Iranians and Ukrainians are the same people. So with that gap,
yeah. I mean, it was an embarrassment. I was like,
I was kind of like, I mean. It's just there's no worse time to be where we are, in a war, that affects everyone globally because the economies are so like in 2022, all countries are so knitly tied together economically wise, it affects everyone. So it just sucks. Like we don't need to make any wrong moves, and so not to have a, I'm not, I'm not the kind of guy because I'm very much independent and I have a lot of like left ideas. I have different ideas, so I'm never want to be like antagonistic against. Be like, hey, that's not my president. Screw Joe Biden, whatever. But at the same time, I just kind of like you got to have somebody with a strong disposition with a maniac right now who's basically, a terrorist to the Ukrainians. So this guy is mentally insane. So, and the scariest thing going on right now is Putin is put on standby for nuclear warfare. Mm-hmm. So that's the last thing you want is to have the leader of the free world who is not all there, obviously, because if you need a prompter for the State of the Union address, if you don't, and you make a mistake, it is the Iranians, not the Ukrainians.
We already got.
It's kind of like.
And they're ready to attack us anyway. That country is already ready to go to war always. So
I do agree with the use of sanctions and cutting off the Russians economically, because right now it's kind of like when you're dealing with a maniac, it's like the last thing is to put troops on.
Yeah, we do not
put our troops in active duty on the soil to defend the Ukrainians. I'm like, this isn't our war.
Yeah,
the history of the Ukrainians have plenty of bloodshed on their hands. They weren't exactly, trying to claim independence, but it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you are. And if you know history, where Russia and what Russia has done, it doesn't matter. The current state of affairs are you have a dictatorship trying to really pose a really terrible thing to a free, wanting to be independent country, and peoples. So it's sad, it's really sad. So yeah, it's crazy. Well, so I'm trying to keep up with it as much as I can.
Yeah, and there was a lady, because he started babbling about military and all that, about cancer to our military troops. And did you hear that one Congress lady, she mentioned about the 13, and they got about the Afghanistan, we lost 13 troops, and all the Democrats, somebody were like, they were like, then he started stumbling and mumbling. I'm like, oh my God. I said, do you realize China is watching this? China's probably say, hey, we're gonna walk right in Taiwan and nothing's gonna be done, because look at this guy, and then Iran's probably saying the same thing. We're going to go start a war with Israel. I could see this escalating to 3 or 4 fronts.
Yeah.
And then everybody's and I, like I was saying, this is like conversation in a coffee, and they're like, "What does this have to do with coffee?" And everybody's like, so we always try to bring something back because we're drinking about coffee. And Mike can tell you what's going to do. What happens when all this happens? What happens to the prices? And you were telling me the other day.
Yeah.
The beans and stuff. You were telling me of beans that what you used to get for $2 are now like what, 12 or something, like a pound or something.
Yeah, I'm struggling. Like there's I have an out of stock in my shop right now, that I can't get it within my price range. So it makes me feel uncomfortable to sell something so high,
Exactly.
So I'm working very hard to
Pacific 414. How you doing?
Yeah, so it affects everything, So it's just crazy. But there's as far as like why now? Why does Russia want to invade Ukraine? And I'm like, well, it's just the disposition of where we are globally. There is like if I was a dictator, if I was wanting to invade, I'm like, the best time to start a war is when most countries are crippled economically. Because that is the best time, because it kind of puts you in a position. It puts you in a position to kind of, because any other major country that gives sanctions, doesn't allow a country to say use banking systems and all that affects your country. So if you're already you see there's this narrative, there's the COVID narrative, and now that seems to be swept under the rug. It's like, oh, bye-bye. It's like, bye-bye COVID, now war. So you're kind of wondering, like, maybe there's something grander going on behind the scenes. Maybe somebody's paying Putin under the table, being like, hey, start a war. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, now's the time to start a war, because, not to say that, the circumstances would be different if Trump was still president, because it's just there's so many different angles of where we are right now. The only thing we can say is this is the state of affairs where, Russia is in war with Ukraine, and
we got China lurking.
People are wondering why is now China? It's like, well, you got to understand, it's like, China and
perfect
Russia,
opportunity.
Yeah, China and Russia, they're pretty much allies, so that could be the worst case scenario ever, is if
and Iran
push comes to shove, once Russia runs out of money due to these harsh sanctions, and somebody pushes him over the edge, he's like, all right, let's get the job done. Hello, China.
You got to look at their allies too. This could push Syria. Iran is their ally, and China.
All communist, dictator-based countries, that are anti-American, anti-free world countries, all anti-NATO countries. Yeah. So the best time to start a war is when most countries, or economically, we're trying to get our feet back up from COVID, and it's going to take
worldwide
probably 10 years to recover economically. So I'm like, best time to start a war when everyone's already crippled. Best time to hurt somebody when they're already down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm just saying. Well, they're like, oh, we don't need to send our troops over because, like I said, but I said, if we send our troops there. China does that. See, that's a problem we got that even with the Pacific. We're delegated. If North Korea or Japan attacks Japan, we have to defend Japan because of some kind of thing we signed during World War II.
Yeah,
and that's another thing. Everything North Korea could attack they could attack South Korea and Japan right now because they're already shooting missiles over their sea again. China's going to do a Taiwan pretty soon, and in Iran. Possibly going to try to attack Israel or attack Saudi Arabia because they have that grudge against Saudi Arabia. And I know it's like, boom, if you do that, that's where your oil's coming from. China, that's where all your products come from. And you talk about, that's what I was saying, prices. I'm not saying this all ties into, not just coffee, but other things like packaging, coffee beans, delivery. It's you could be chaos. I read an article that said if one more thing happens, like something really bad, if Putin goes off the edge, they would say expect toothpaste to be by next month $10 a package, $10 for toothpaste.
Yeah,
for one tube.
So a lot of it is the effect of COVID has made production so insane. Just getting because it was kind of like the whole toilet paper thing, which made no sense. Well, in the same sense, everyone's just buying because they're afraid. And so it's not that there isn't enough, say food or anything like that. It's the packaging, like you said. So because I managed in retail industry, so a lot of like if you go to grocery stores, you see like why a lot of like bottled stuff, plastic stuff is out is because the actual suppliers, the people who package the stuff, don't have enough supplies to get the actual product out. It's not like they're running out of the product or they can't produce another one. Plus also workforce too as well. A lot of people are out of work because of COVID. So workforce is actually up finally.
Yeah. Well, look at all those shipping containers off of California. They're still sitting out there.
Yeah. I mean, to put in perspective, like I've had to switch back and forth from 3 different suppliers just to keep, because for me, getting raw product isn't that big of a deal yet, but packaging and all that stuff. So I've switched back and forth from different suppliers, and it's just crazy. I can't get things at my prices anymore.
Exactly.
So I think I mentioned last time, like just in a short time, literally, it's only been about maybe a year's time. Most Panama coffees in the central area were fairly average price. Some of them pretty low. Now they're priced so insanely high. There's one right now. There's a rare Panama coffee that, no joke, it'll cost me $65 a pound to get it. So for me to retail it, that's insane. So like we're talking about a region that's not very far, and that's another reason why I have an out of stock. One of my top sellers, best coffees that I love is my Costa Rican. So Costa Rican is near that area, and so there's a significant price difference in Costa Rican. But now I'm starting to notice that the high price Costa Rican that I always used to get, which was wasn't that expensive, is now out of my price range because I buy in bulk. I buy like 50 to 100 pounds at a time, and I try to get out as quick as I can. But, if it's not in my price range, then it's not going to be good for my customer either. Because
exactly.
So it's insane. But yeah.
Do you have any coffee that comes out of that area? That's all the conflicts going on right now. You don't have no coffee comes out of that area, right?
You mean the Central America area?
No. Like Europe, that part of Europe, with Ukraine.
No,
there's no coffee in that.
No. A lot of people will ask me, like Sumatra would be, more towards the east. So I don't do Sumatras. I mean, I'm thinking about coming off them, but I've been thinking about coming out.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about coming out with something like that soon, but we'll see. A lot of it has to do with the theme of our business because, obviously the palm trees try to keep things tropical and flavorful. So I try to keep things like within the, because most coffees grow within, fairly close to the equator. So I try to keep it, sort of tropical. So a lot of stuff from Central America, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know Coast Coffees they have in India, Asia, have different. That's what I said. If war breaks out with Taiwan, which that could conflict, because there was rumors, China was upset with Australia too, because there's some naval. There's that whole area could just break out and there's a lot of I know there's a lot of countries that produce coffee in that area too. So, and plus those areas there also produce the packaging stuff that we use. So we go out, once if we get involved in that means they're going to cut off everything. So can you imagine? So, and we depend on a lot of countries a little too much than we should have. Can you imagine? We got some back, but we got 80% still we depend on. You lose that 80%, it's that 20% is not going to hold up the country. And it's going to. You talk about the toilet paper shortage. You're going to about massive shortages on all kind of stuff. If stuff like that, food says $10 too. Yeah, that was an article I read. Food, it said it could happen. That's supposedly we're on code red. Supposedly Russia is going on martial law till Friday. So what I've heard. Once you start putting martial laws and code reds means you're on nuclear alert. We haven't been on a nuclear alert since the Cuban Missile Crisis. So once that happens, all it takes is one to go off. And then you got 5 or 6 countries in this world, and like I said, there's China. We got dealing with China, India and China had a little scuffle last year, so they're both nuclear powers too.
Yeah,
like I said, it just takes one to go off. And you got Pakistan is also a nuclear power.
Yep,
it just takes one of them to shoot off at the wrong person, and then it's in chaos, man. And then
that's what scares me.
So
when I remember, I saw you seen a trend, when I first heard on the news, right? A day after Russia decides to invade Ukraine, you have fighter jets from China flying over, Taiwan and just inspecting the, so it's kind of and I was like, please God,
no. Well, you know what it is? They want, they know we won't do nothing. That's the thing. They know they got us down.
The thing that would tip us over into a third world war is if, the sanctions or the involvement of any NATO countries pushes Putin over to the edge.
Yeah.
Say if if Finland decides to become NATO country, or any of the other European, it's just there's so many tipping points when you got a maniac who has already a standby with nuclear armed weapons, So I'm just hoping that the economy of Russia gets so crushed that they have to, make an agreement and say, okay, this is done,
They just need to go to.
I don't see it happening.
And just
table it,
yeah. But like guys, we're not. It's not a politics show. We're just bringing into the fact. Like I said, we're trying to bring it back to word coffee. What will this affect coffee? And it will affect it a lot. Guess and it's not just buying coffee. Guess what? Going to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or what's the other place? Caribou, or there's a couple other places up north. Those cups of coffee are going to go really high. They're gonna, because guess what? They're packaged.
Everything's just up. Anytime, I remember I could just buy pretty much groceries for the week with 10 years ago. I'd spend for myself $50, maybe $100. I was I go shopping for everything, and I look at my bill, and I'm like $350. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Exactly.
All right, yeah.
You don't want $100 to get you now one bag. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you ain't even got enough to make the products to make the meal. Now it's like
Yeah, I run two businesses, so I'm kind of like it gets really hard because I'm kind of like I'm like, am I gonna have money to eat this week? It's like it's crazy.
Exactly. That's what I said. But then like I was saying. And then people are like, damn it, why am I going to pay $7 or $9 for a cup of coffee at Starbucks? Because you know why? They got packaging. That cup, you got to pay $3 for that cup now because them cups are very expensive now, you know?
Yeah.
You're paying for that expensive cup and then, you know, all the other products in it.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing. Like sometimes I've learned to buy packaging and stuff that is very economical, but in most cases, like when you get into like multi-million dollar like industries, like Starbucks and all that, you're actually paying more for the actual cup than the actual
exactly
cup.
That's what I'm
insane.
saying.
So they inflate, like, especially their crazy sugary lattes and those drinks that run like $8 up to $12, $14, nitro brew and all that stuff. That costs them nothing. That costs them nothing. So they already inflate that up to like 800% or more. So it costs them like maybe like a quarter, 20 cents at the most, and then you're paying. So that's what makes me laugh. People are like, they're like, Mike, coffee is, gourmet or specialty coffee is so expensive, but 6 days a week they're buying. They're going through the drive-through and spending like $5-6, and I'm just like, I'm no mathematician, but if you did the math, if you're buying this every day, you could afford 2 of my bags of coffee.
Exactly, and they're just they're just buying one little cup. That's
yeah,
it's crazy because I know. I mean, just lately, just going for the drive-in, and you can see the prices going up in just fast food places. It's like. Where the hell is the dollar menu? I mean, look at Dollar Tree. Dollar is $1 quarter tree now.
There's no more such thing as Dollar General. It's Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Dollar menu. You get there and I'm like, there's nothing on there that's $1. I'm like,
they call it the value. Remember, now it's $3 instead of $1 now. That's what it is.
Yeah.
A little sandwich now is $3. You want the bigger sandwich? Okay, that's $5. So
yeah.
It's crazy. Let me see. What else did I have? Let me see.
The best deal right now is Wendy's. They have a pick 4 for $4. So you get like 4 things off the menu, and it's actually a decent amount of food, Like I go to McDonald's. It's always like, I don't really care so much for McDonald's. I get it like a have to have it moments.
Yeah.
So it's always a letdown because whenever I really want, it's always late. It's always like now or up to like 2 or 3 in the morning. And I went one time, and their ice cream machines are always out. I really want to like punch through the screen whenever they tell me that. But I remember one time, it was literally the last time I went. It was like maybe a month ago. I go and I pull up, and the guy's like, hey man, we only have French fries and chicken nuggets right now. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I want a cheeseburger. They're like, well, we just have chicken nuggets and fries. And I'm just like, the one time out of like maybe 3 or 4 times out of the year that I want McDonald's, and it's always I want a cheeseburger, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't have cheeseburgers. I'm like, and I said after that, I was like, is it a far stretch to ask if your ice cream machines are working? He's like,
no.
Down, man. I peeled out and I left. I was like, damn, forget it.
That ice cream machine's down. Well, it's like I went to Taco Bell. They didn't have beans. They said they had no beans. So I was like, how do you not have no beans in tacos? That's one of the main things in tacos or burritos.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like the time when our KFC place,
God.
our Kentucky Fried Chicken place, I went to KFC and I drove up. There's a sign on the door in the drive-thru. It's like, we're out of chicken. I'm like, how do you?
Mashed potatoes, man. The mashed potatoes are gravy. That's stuff.
You're a chicken place. How do you run out of chicken?
It's great. It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is probably our last topic. I know because I know we're getting close to that 1 hour mark. You heard? Well, we know everybody was talking. We had that Canadian trucker convoy up there in Canada like a couple weeks ago, which everybody says it was a failure, but it was a success in a way because they did open up a lot of those mandates. I mean, they didn't get all the things they wanted, but a lot of mandates was taken away, up there. So it did help out Canada in a way that, it made Trudeau backpedal. And that was another thing. Trudeau was up there talking, bad about Putin and how he's a dictator. I said, well, I hate to say, Trudeau, you were doing just the same thing to the Canadian people a week ago, taking money out of their bank account, freezing their bank accounts and arresting poor truckers. And I mean, they had their police, or if you don't call them police, I don't think they were police, up there like tackling some old lady and knocking her over in a wheelchair. And, it was like, it looked like a communist state, if you want to call it. But we got a trucker convoy going across the U.S. I guess it's heading to Washington. We were supposed to have one. It was supposed to have been there like last night for that State of Union, but I suppose when I was reading that it fell apart and not enough people were involved in it or something. So there's a new one going through. It's heading that way. I'm supposed to be there by this weekend. I think I guess they're in Kansas or somewhere in that area right now. I mean, what do you think about this, Mike? You think this is it's gonna help, or you think it's just another,
Yeah, I think it could help. I mean, I haven't heard much about this, so
this is the Freedom Convoy.
The Freedom Convoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with that. I mean, I've only just heard about that. So.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing: the truckers could really put a hurting on this country if they really wanted to. Because
well, I know we had a major strike, with because the government was basically pending or putting pressure on truck drivers' health insurances, their licenses. Like if you didn't have. So there was a lot of pressure with COVID, and a lot of truckers were on strike, So pretty crazy.
Look at food, man. He says, "Well, if World War III happens, at least I already seen the Batman." You lucky, man. I may not get to see it. I might have to,
Yeah, it's like please.
Hopefully, maybe
for the love of God, like
maybe they'll have it playing in a bomb shelter.
It's like
down there.
Like at least let's all be able to see Batman, the new Batman.
I do.
And then after that, like we're fine. Like I don't even care anymore. Just let it happen.
Yeah. Well, you know how you remember in the 50s they told the kids to get under the table and duck. If a bomb goes off or a nuclear weapon goes off, like that was really going. So if we're in the shelter, maybe we'll be looking under the table, looking to the Batman. Maybe they'll at least have the Batman playing. When we hear the bombs going off.
Yeah.
I'm being sarcastic, guys. So don't. I'm not being. I'm just trying to have a little fun about it. But.
Like especially
hopefully
Americans, we're so tired. Like everyone's just so tired. Like it's just every time we wake up to something else, there's just another tragedy. And like I was, I'm a big TikToker, so I follow like a couple of my fans, a couple of people I follow. There's a comedian I follow. I just he was like doing basically had a clip of like the news on the behind him, and he was just doing like a green screen, and the screen behind him says, Putin is now posing, nuclear threat, and he had a comment above him, saying like how tired everyone is, and he just like, really? He's like, just let it. He's like, I don't even care anymore. Just like he's like, I'm done. He's like, there could be like the tomorrow's news, there's a meteor heading to, asteroid heading to pretty much end humanity. And we're just at a point where we're just kind of like, man, we've had no break for 5 years now. 5 years of just insanity.
We've been in prison. We've been in prison for 2 years. I mean, you would call it.
I was over it during the election process. They had a whole election process, and then the uprising, all the uprising of the burning down of buildings and everything, and then COVID came. COVID just got more insane. And just after that, it was right around that time. I'm just going to be forever independent, and I don't care about news anymore. I just turn it off. I'm like, No, but now that World War III is on the brink, I've been tuning in a lot more. So I'm just kind of like glued to the screen. I'm like,
Yeah.
Lord God,
Like,
please, anyone,
just,
any ambassador of the NATO nations or watching Joe Biden, I'm just like, please, just don't do anything stupid, please.
Can we just have one year that just nothing? We have a normal year. I mean, I know it can't be completely normal, but can we all just sit around at the Dairy Queen with Joe Biden, eat an ice cream cone, and watch the Batman and Jurassic Park?
I know. So it's like, hold off the news until Batman. And once everyone's seen Batman, just let it go. I don't care anymore.
Well, and Doctor Strange 2 and Jurassic 3, and I want to see Indiana Jones 5 before he's almost dying. He's almost dead anyway. Harrison Ford is, he had to film this in his wheelchair anyway. But I want to see it before it, before all humanity's gone. So, but yeah, I just want back on a normal day, because there's nothing normal. Like we said, nothing's normal. You can't even go to even a restaurant. Half the restaurants are they're understaffed, or they ain't open, only drive-through, and then you drive through, and then it's the food quality is gone to hell.
Just talking to a friend, I was like, man, I'm looking so forward to having a first summer in like 2 years where COVID relief is basically we're seriously starting to back off COVID. And then literally after that conversation, I get on the news and Russia invades Ukraine. I'm like forget it. Whatever. Yeah. Like, I don't care. Like, so frustrating.
I mean, like I said, so you go to your favorite restaurants. They're not the same. The quality is not the same. And I'll bring this back, guys. I'm not being. We went last summer to Fort Myers. When my son's birthday was going. He turned 14, so we went over there. We went to Hooters. I took him to Hooters for his birthday. Well, that Hooters, it's not. If we ever went to Hooters in the past, Hooters, was Hooters. They were so understaffed. There was only like, I'm not being sexist here, but there was only 2 girls. They had nobody. They had to bring like 4 or 5 guys in with ties. They had 2 or 3 guys in there with ties serving you. I'm like, this ain't Hooters. This is like, where's, what I'm saying? Yeah, they have a big sign out. We need help bad. I'm like, holy moly! It's like it's got to that bad,
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, it's like you go to like I haven't even been to like in like any restaurant. You don't get the same. You don't see like the same service you get. You get that used to some place you go. You get that 5-star restaurant service. Now you get like maybe a 2. Even your nicer restaurants.
I honestly became so comfortable with getting food to like takeout or ordered or delivered or going through drive-through because of COVID. Now I just have no ambition to go.
Yeah,
that's another thing. So I'm just kind of like, well, Okeechobee, it's slim picking. So don't ever have high expectations of Okeechobee. Always start with like it's gonna be okay, and you'll never be disappointed. So
if they're open, like half the times I went to places and like they got a sign on their door, we don't have enough staff. I was on the coast, so they went to a tropical smoothie, and I went in there and says we don't have enough people to run the store. I'm like, holy.
Service industry's rough too, like right now. So I really feel because I worked in service industry. I know a lot of guys and girls who are waiters, waitresses, and do curbside and all that stuff. So
yeah.
So just so you know, if you see me at curbside or anything, I'm going to tip you really well. So last time I went, I tipped a girl $50. My order was $10. So she's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm in the service industry." So she started crying. And I'm just like, "It's fine." Like, because
it made her day.
Like you bust. Like this pisses me off. Like cause I used to serve I used to bartend and stuff. Like you serve a table of 15 people, the entire collection of retards. I'm sorry, only tips the girl like
$5.
It's like $5. I'm like, if that was me, I'm like, we're going to my car and getting my gun. Like, So there's short help and the service because you got to feed yourself, your kids, and your life.
Well, they don't pay them that much.
So I'm just saying, if you're in the service industry or you're a contractor and you work, you repair homes, you do service deliveries and all that, you rely off good clients who tip well, pay well.
Exactly.
So if you don't tip well or pay well, we're writing your names down and we're never serving you again. Never. So y'all got to tip your waiters and waitresses.
If you ever stop ordering takeout, there might be mass layoffs. Just doing my part. No need to call me a hero. Us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always tip your waitress and all that, Joe. Because like I said, they don't.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, even curbside, like people who work curbside, that's like curbside and do like service to legs, not easy because everyone's still in like the COVID mode. People like that's another reason why service industry sucks is you got so many layoffs and not enough people working. Now they can't hire enough people. Nobody wants to work because nobody wants to be paid $10 an hour. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like my sister works in the service industry and the industry's tough right now, so sometimes I see them in tears because it's just things right now are hard. So if you're available and it's, you're in the industry where it hasn't affected you so much financially, I know what's the average tip percentage? Like you could tip like what, 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the money, start tipping 30%. That's what I decided to do. I'm going to start tipping 30, 40%. Because I know what it's like. It sucks. So
and they don't get paid. They get paid. If you say, they're getting paid 10, 12, no, they don't. They get way under that. And then they have to, they get like percentage because I guess, with the laws, they can pay them like maybe $4 or $5 and they got to depend on those tips and all that. So that's crazy.
Yeah. We all got to make a living. We all got to pay bills, So,
well, Mike, we're getting back about an hour and a half. I didn't realize we went over a little more, guys. Really? I hope everybody enjoyed it tonight. I mean, I'm sorry if we got a little political, but we was like ruffling the newspaper. And there's a lot of political stuff going on this day. There's a lot of stuff worldwide that it don't matter what side you're on or what you believe. Yeah, I mean, it affects us all, man. It affects us all.
It's a hot mess right now.
If I look out that window, there's a mushroom cloud going, or a big fireball going off out there. That's not. It don't matter what I believe in. It's gonna affect me, my neighbor, and whoever's near me. So, and everybody needs to realize there's a lot of stuff, and we have to pay attention to it. And then like I said, this is like we're in the coffee shop. We don't have the newspaper, but we're reading the newspaper through our streams, we say, and we're trying to. Let everybody know what's going on and try to, bring that to them. I'm hoping, like I was saying, we're hoping we're gonna bring some guests on in the near future. I got some people, but they're a little scared. They're a little worried. They don't want to, they're a little camera shy right now. So, but I'm trying to work on that. So, we got I think I sent to Mike, Rob. Rob. He does photography. And this goes along. It's like we try to base everything off Mike, so the coffee and stuff. And photography, where I was bringing Rob in, is sort of like his visual through the lens. And this goes product. The visual of the product. It'll be like through the lens. And our eyes are lenses. We're that's two cameras. We got 1 and 2 cameras. If you want to say we have a third one up there, but it's just like the camera, product placement. Product image and Mike goes through this all day. Him and Rob will go be perfect talking about this together.
Yeah, when you're a business owner, you have to be everything. You got to be the CEO, CFO, photographer, media expert, chief.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's the list. You wear all the hats. So
exactly.
Don't even get me started. Oh man,
it's hard.
Multimedia stuff. It's hard. That's where half of my headaches. People think, he has such a cool life and job, being owner of his own coffee business. I'm it's you don't know half the headaches. Most of it's media. It drives me nuts. So I'm excited to have somebody like that on the show.
Yeah, I'm hoping the next show.
I have a lot of questions. I need a lot of help.
He told me maybe the next 2 weeks he's gonna. I got to get one. But like I said, like this color, this product is it's blue here. Well, it's fake now because of the fact. What if it ought to be like I said? This is they picked this color for a reason. they put yellow, this product might not sell, or
it really comes down to that.
Imagery, and that's what I want him, because I know he looks for a camera. He does photography of nature and different things, but it makes it, like I said, you take a picture like you got here your sunset. You pick those palm trees for a reason, because because it catches somebody's eye and all that. So I'm hoping it's going to be a fire stream. It's going to be a lot of different different things that we haven't talked about in the thing, and like I said, it's going to be right up your alley, because especially you promote new stuff, new products. And you have to have that visual. People have to see that visual to buy the product or want the product or make the product appetizing and stuff. So,
yeah.
So I think it'll be a fire show. Like I said, hopefully everybody will have that in maybe a week or two. I gotta get with them. And we got some other people that I'm talking to also with different things that tie in with the things we talk about every week. So,
yep.
So guys, I would appreciate everybody came in tonight. Food, and hopefully we don't pay that $10 for the toothpaste like you said. But Pacific 4, it's a new person. I appreciate it. I hope you subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate you coming in tonight. And I had a C-list, new person also. Awesome, man. I appreciate it. He helped us out with some of the bands there at the concert. I appreciate that, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Come back. We're like I said, it's a weekly show. I mean, we're doing it Wednesday nights now. We might start doing a morning. We'll try to see if we maybe do a morning show also. We're going to look into that possibly in the future too. Jedi Bill, Basco, appreciate y'all coming in. Kavari, appreciate you coming in. Sherry. And I'm sure there's some people, because I've seen the fluctuate, so there's probably some people that just didn't want to post anything. Anybody, I appreciate y'all watching.
Yes.
Watch the replay. And like I said, check out Mike's channel. Let me see, there it goes. Coastal Cafe. This is his website right here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. I mean, he has a bunch of different type of flavors and different varieties. If you like dark roast, light roast, tropical flavors, he's got whiskey flavor, all kind of stuff. Lavender. I mean, check it out. Join the club. He has a Coastal Cafe club there. Join it. And it sends out emails, right, Mike? It sends out emails.
Yeah. It's we got some cool things on there. So the menu is always changing too, So like I got some pretty good coffees on there. So if you love coffees, there's a lot of reading stuff on there. So a lot of stuff to learn. So try to make it user friendly. So yeah, but we're doing pretty well. So if you guys are into if you're based out of Florida and love Florida, like I really try to get the heartbeat of Florida. And I mean, that's why I call it Coastal Cafe. So I kind of rolled with the themes and put all my heart and soul. So you'll see a lot of things in there that you probably wouldn't expect. So like a lot of things, like if you like tropical things like rum chata and all that kind of stuff, I thought of that with you in mind. So you'll probably be blown away and be like, what? I didn't think you could make coffee like that. I'm like, yeah. So this is like over a decade of research and hard sweat work that I put into the product, So
definitely check it out, guys. And like I said, support. Yeah, I said we're supporting local businesses. Like I said, we want to bring local people in here. But like Mike ships worldwide, guys. So it doesn't matter if you live in Australia, England, California, or Mexico. It don't matter. He ships worldwide. So
yeah. In case, I mean, some places are still like restricted due to COVID and stuff, but I think a lot of those have been uplifted. So there's a link. There's a link on the site. So if you're still in like the parts of the Middle East, I don't know if there's still.
And I think I got the link in the description of the video also, so you can pop it right there and go right to it. Mike, you got any other things you're going to be on? I know you do. Mike does a lot of TikTok, guys, so check him out on TikTok. You got anything exclusive coming up or anything? I'm
working right now. I'm currently working on. I just filmed. It was hard to film, very hard. Some of the top TikTok stars, they will spend like no joke 5 to 8 hours filming and then 19 hours editing for one video for themselves, or if they have, I've been offered already, because I have been going pretty viral on TikTok lately. So just put in perspective, in 1 month I gained over 124,000 followers.
Wow, that's awesome.
And so I went super viral on some videos. So now that I'm in the game of being on the same playing field with people who are coffee content creators, because at first I just did stuff for comedy, but then I because of my clout, I was able to start to do some brewing videos that people are like, hey, this guy actually knows the stuff. And they check my site and stuff. So now the challenge is on, because now I'm being asked to do things that are outside of my comfort zone. So that's the thing, because I did one video about Cuban coffee, and I did some things that kind of challenged people's opinions or traditions about how they make that type of coffee. And so it was great because, you got a lot of love, but you also get a lot of hate. And so you want to make sure you're representing an entire country's coffee. You gotta make sure you're right, because you're talking about somebody's coffee. So but even the hate though, that because people viewership though, because people come back to it. Even with the hate, people come back to it sometimes. Well, I was aware with what makes people go viral is the fact that you got to be somewhat equally more so loved than hated, but almost like down the middle, equally loved as hated. So you got to be willing to go down a path that not everyone's willing to. Like Howard Stern used to do on radio. That's what. Howard Stern, exactly. Very, very, very much like so. But now they've changed a lot of the rules and regulations under TikTok. So basically, how a hashtag system works for Twitter and all that stuff. So like the system of the algorithm for TikTok kind of works for watch time, because that's what the theme of TikTok is for watch time. But they used to throw you out for use people who are interested into your stuff. But now, if your content is not healthy for the viewership of TikTok, then you might not be thrown for use. Or if you're using other videos from other platforms and uploading them to your platform, you may not be thrown out to a algorithm or for you where your audience would see. So now it kind of evens the playing field. So it makes it hard for some content creators that TikTok doesn't value, because TikTok has an agenda to push what they want to see. Exactly. So now, but for coffee content creators, we're all loved. So I kind of I'm the only coffee content creator that brings in the element of comedy and education, whereas everyone else is holding hands. And anytime a coffee content creator comes out with something goes viral, the other 3 or 4 big ones all do the same thing. And it drives me nuts. And I'm just kind of like, they're kind of going through a swell right now. Well, they're going through a time right now where it's like nobody knows what to post. So there's a plateau, and nobody's doing really great in the last month as far as viewership. I'm the only one. I post something, my views go way up. And I noticed because all their fans will tag those content creators in their comments, and they won't say anything. Because they see me and they're like, this guy, this mother, like. So I try to, I'm working on some stuff right now that is, really putting me outside my comfort zone, because I'm having to do stuff that I'm not really in my forte. So I'm like filming and editing, and so I go as far as writing out scripts. So I film and then I write a script for that clip. And it's people like, man, you go that far? I'm like, yeah, this last week in this next post that I'm going to do, hopefully post it maybe by tomorrow or Friday, I've spent about a week on it so far, getting all the materials, thinking about how I'm going to film, writing out the script, editing, filming. Yeah, people are like, why do that much? I'm like, because if you don't, in a market such as coffee, the industry is literally the most saturated industry. If you don't go to the extreme, if you don't have high action and high motivation, you're not going to make it. So that's just the motivation. So if you're trying to run a business and you have a lot of competition, you got to be insane, massive action. You got to be like, okay, everyone's doing this. Great. How to be successful is do the exact opposite of everyone else. Just do the opposite and you'll be successful. Take the hard road, be original, be authentic, be passionate, you go crazy. Sleep only 3 hours.
I started one, but I haven't. I just do a little clips and stuff. I had a thing with me and my rooster. I got like 900 views. I was like, hell yeah! I was like,
Yeah, and that's what
and I didn't do nothing. It was just a clip out there with my rooster and all that.
And that's what you got to do. You just keep throwing something at the wall until something
Yeah.
clicks. And then once something trends, you study what trends and you perfect it. And then when it trends again, you perfect it. And everything else that doesn't trend, just stop doing it. If it doesn't work, look in the mirror and just be like, don't complain. And nobody's viewing it. Just be like, okay, it's not working. Just be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror, be like, Mike, it's not working. So I had a couple things trend, and it happened to be during a hard time after my father passed away. So I was dealing with a lot of emotions and stuff. So I pulled out this character in me that I've always done and been as a barista. And it was just funny. It was funny to the community. It was funny to everyone. I did one thing, went viral, 4 million views within 2 days. I'm like,
wow.
I'm like, what the? I'm like, no. I'm like, this is weird. So you got to do that. You got to be willing to do whatever it takes and throw as much things at the wall. And when somebody notices, you're like, okay, my average viewership is like 20 authentic views. Okay, doesn't make me happy. And then you do a video and you get, for the first time, 1,000 views. And you're like, study that video, perfect it, study the video. Stop asking, how can I grow my channel? Start asking the forward question, what's growing on my audience? Not how do I grow my audience? What's growing on my audience? What is everyone wanting to watch and see? What do they want to see? Do that and be original, you know?
So where do we find you? Well, Mike, where do we find you on TikTok? What do you got? Mike Stone, or what do you got?
My handle is at Coffee Snob. Yeah,
Coffee Snob.
At Coffee Snob, you'll see me.
Okay,
if you hashtag Coffee Snob, I have the highest viewed videos in the world right now. Like in the world. Like if you hashtag Coffee Snob in TikTok, you'll see me.
Okay, so guys, that's where to find him, guys. So check it out. He has a YouTube channel, but you ain't been doing much on the YouTube, right? You just pretty much
we revamped our YouTube because I'm trying to think about, like, if anyone is better at YouTube, message me because I suck at YouTube. So I basically changed the YouTube channel to be more like aesthetic tutorials about how to make the coffee. So it's basically it takes you through like an aesthetic sort of like satisfying video about how to make different types of coffee. So I've kind of I put my money where the market is. So the market right now, TikTok. So I do the work and the results come. I do hard work for other platforms. Nothing happens. So I'm kind of like, okay, maybe start asking questions other experts. So YouTube, we've changed a lot. Just, we changed to kind of focus on what works for coffee creators. Yeah. So if you want to see some good tutorials, the same with Pinterest as well. We just try to focus on stuff like recipes and stuff that people can do for free. Yeah. Cool. So all that's free.
Cool. Definitely. Well, guys, let me see. Let's see this week. Well, on my schedule, let's see. Today's third. What we got coming up Thursday? Well, Friday night, 11:15. I got the show, the late night snack show. Me and the Austinator. We'll probably be talking a lot of Batman on that. If everybody's interested in the Batman, we're gonna be talking Batman. I know Austin brings a little wrestling in because he watched. He keeps up with the WWE and stuff. I keep more up with independent wrestling, so. But he keeps up with WWE, so we do have a little discussion on that. We'll probably talk about a little bit more Doctor Strange coming up, but probably about the Batman. It's probably this week is the Batman on that. And let's see. On Sunday, if anybody is sub to him, Hanstar's channel, they have Name That Tune on Sunday night at 11 o'clock. Mike, if you get a chance, make sure you come on. You can check that out if you're busy Sunday night, 11. It's It's called It's Hanstar. You have to go to his channel, Hanstar. Okay. I'll probably send you. It's pretty much he's needing contestants. They have you remember that Name That Tune, that old game show they used to have?
Yeah.
What they do is what is he's looking for some tryouts, sort of like a tryout thing, and we get them there and get like 4 or 5 of us, and Chris Knight he does a little tune. They do country pop. Movie tunes and different colors, and have like a wheel and you spin it, and it basically they have a little buzzard. Everybody has a little buzzard, and he starts playing a little bit and ding ding, just like they used to. And so we should, and they have different rounds and different things, but it's a fun game, just cool to hang out with everybody. a lot of cool people in there, and I mean, I did good. I won the first time I did it, and then I got destroyed the last 2 or 3 times. But hey, it was fun, because people know, different types of music. It's just being there quick enough to get it and all that. But it's a fun, like I said, it's just like a little fun little game show. But check it out. I'll send you a link to it. It's on Sunday. It's on Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday nights. Fun show. He also does other kind of game shows on there too. But this is like tryouts for Name That Tune. I've sort of got into that one, but like anybody in the chat, check it out. And if, food, definitely you were gonna try it out. Come in our Han Stars channel. Yeah, Batman. It was great. How did you see the Batman, Food? You live overseas? Is that how you saw it? You must live up in.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
I am jealous because what if we don't get to see it?
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to maybe pirate it from some.
I don't want to do it, dude. You know what? I did that to Spider-Man. I saw pirated Spider-Man before I went and saw the Spider-Man movie, and
bootleg version.
Yeah, but I already knew what was going to happen, but I was still excited though. I was like excited when I saw it, but it was just like, man, it just wasn't the same. It was not a good version of bootleg too, man. It was like. It was like just fuzzy. It was like watching the old tube back in the day, trying to say, "Oh, is that something right there?" But yeah, I would recommend it. If I'd go to the theater and see it. I really don't want to bootleg nothing like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. And like I said, next Wednesday we should be back next Wednesday unless something comes up. And then like I said, we're working on a few things. I'm hoping to get that guest in.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So hopefully I gotta get with Rob and see when he is ready to go with it. When it's time free. If we can't, we might do it a different day. So Mike, you said we might do a Tuesday or Thursday also. So see what's good. Whatever day I can get him to come on also. So and we got some other cool stuff. So guys, it's been an awesome night. Like I said, be safe out. If you're in the Okeechobee area, be safe out there because the Popo will be out this week because there's a lot of stuff going on.
Be very careful traveling. Yeah.
Yeah, do not do nothing stupid because the Popo will be out with all the things going on. So, be safe, drive safe, and be responsible. But everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.